What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dominate Every Aspect. In this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about my training split and how it might actually be changing coming up within these next so many months. So I actually got requested to talk about my current training split. As some of you might know or have noticed, I've pretty much been running a push-pull leg split for the past really year. The reason being, and why I have to do that, is because I noticed that if I put, let's say, my shoulders, chest, or triceps all on different days of the week, that my tendonitis flares up really bad in my elbows, and it prevents me from being able to train efficiently. So I've noticed if I place it all on one day, so a push day, that my joints are totally fine, that there's no inflammatory, there's no swelling going on in my elbows or anything that's causing me pain, that causes me not to be able to do anything else. So that's the reason why I pretty much run push-pull legs. The way that I personally run it is I started out on Monday. I usually train glutes and hams specific with a little bit of quad in there. Tuesday is push, but I only do chest and shoulders. Wednesday is back, and that's typically a rowing day. So I do like all my rowing movements and my deadlifts on that day. I don't train arms on that day, it's just strictly back. And then Thursday, it's back to legs again. I typically just train quads, maybe a little bit of hamstring. Friday is a all-encompassing push day, so that is chest, shoulders, and tris. And then Saturday has been a vertical pull day for me, so I do my pull-ups, my pull-downs, stuff like that. And then I also do a little bit of biceps on that day as well. I throw in abs on my back days just out of convenience, but that's the way that my current split looks. Now, for those of you who saw my post this weekend about my central nervous system and how it was a little bit beat up just due to lack of sleep from last week, well, that could definitely be true, and it probably is. But what I'm also getting at with my sleep, it's by the end of prep, we know that stress is high, recovery is not very good, and typically, I should say historically, I've always trained 5 days a week. At the end of last year, I would say, maybe around this time actually, around August, maybe June, July, I started ramping up my training to 6 days a week just to see if I could gain any more muscle leading into this contest season. And the goal was to run it as hot as possible until my body started to break down and or recovery started to slip. This week will be a deciding week for me. I am definitely going to see, I'm going to go into this week thinking that I'm going to lift 6 days a week, but by Tuesday or for sure Wednesday, I'm going to have a very good idea if I'm going to drop it down to a 5-day split. The reason being is that at this point in time, obviously, like I said, recovery is not as great as it used to be. I can't just keep wasting away tissue. I need to let my body actually be able to recover. And I don't want to adjust my total volume for the days because in the grand scheme of things, my total volume isn't all that much. So I think taking a rest day might help me just decrease my stress. Obviously, when we work out, our cortisol levels are raised. So that's something that I'm going to take into a factor. So if I were to drop it down to 5 days, my rest days would be Thursday and Sunday. That's the way I've always done it in the past. That might happen this week. That might happen next week. We will see. So if I were to change it, which I should say when I change it, because I know I'm going to change it sooner or later, I'm going to run probably legs, push, pull, legs, and then, so I should say like lower and then upper. That's how I'll probably do it. So legs, push, pull, lower, upper. The only reason why I'm putting upper at the end of the week on Saturday is because most days, especially here for the next so many weeks, I'm going to be heading out of town on Saturdays. I'm going to be going to competitions, I'm going to be doing some other things on the weekends, and it's just easier for me to do an upper body session at a unfamiliar gym than it is to do a leg training session. So that's how my training has been set up historically. Like I said, guys, right now I'm on 6. I might be changing it to 5 coming up here soon, just to help me recover a little bit. I'm all for pushing it hard, but there does reach a certain point in time where you have to be a little bit smarter, and you have to take a step back in order for you to move forward. At this point in time, I have shown that I haven't really lost a ton of muscle, which has been great. My strength is still awesome. It's just the recovery factor that is slipping. And now the most important factor for me, at least, is to try to lose this fat. In order to lose this fat, I feel like I need to decrease my stress levels a little bit to help my body recover more. So as always, guys, keep dominating every aspect, and I'll see you next week.
and prize.